Hello all, 10th of August 2017, you're here with Dan in Essex, UK. So just going to give you guys an update on a few things that are going on here presently, and what's happening is I'm still fighting this war against these caterpillars, and several reasons for this. Obviously I don't want to give up on the crop, and also I would like you guys to see the recovery is indeed possible if you get an infestation like this. And I'm remaining very vigilant. Every day I'm coming out here and proceeding to pick off these caterpillars, getting rid of them, and the damage does not appear to be getting any worse, and still got some good crops like some lovely cabbages here, and the sprouts are actually starting to form on some of the fill basket Brussels sprouts. So I think it'll be good for me to keep posting little updates on this, because I'm seeing on the Facebook Love My Allotment site, or whatever you want to call it, a lot of people are having this problem here, and some people are getting quite despondent by it, but I'm not really, to be honest, particularly worried about it, because I know that these plants will recover if I just remain vigilant. And I've not sprayed at all. All I've done, literally, all I'm doing is coming out here and removing the caterpillars. So yeah, like, see these ones, these won't have been hatched from the eggs for very long, and I don't want them to get any particular size. So as soon as I see them, they're going. And it's now August, so probably another 2 months or so, depending on the weather, will I have to keep doing this and getting rid of these caterpillars. But usually by October time they're well on their way to not being here anymore, so carrying on with that one. So as I look into the Polytunnel here, I see several things going on, and you guys who have been following my channel for a while, you may remember that I've set these winter pansies, and some of them are now starting to germinate, so I'm quite happy. And the weather actually of late around here has been rather chilly. I mean, literally all day, well, most of the day, it bucketed the rain down yesterday. I mean, I really can't remember it when it rained that heavy, but it certainly did rain heavy indeed. But you know, the ground needed it, but you know, not that convenient in many ways. But water butts are full. Of course, got to keep watering in here because, you know, it's a polytunnel. But yeah, certainly added to the variety yesterday. And looking around here, I can see new things happening. For example, suddenly this has started to grow, the peach tree. You can see these new leaves here, look, and we've got some growth coming here. Now, what I've noticed about these trees is they do tend to go dormant quite quickly, or at least this peach tree does. So I'd imagine within the next 2 or 3 months it will be well on its way to dormancy, as it did last year. But it's making the most of the growth, and it's putting out these new shoots. Now this tree won't get massively large because it's on a dwarving rootstock, but as you guys know, it's been it did give me a good crop this year and last year, so very happy with regard to the Dixie Red. I was given some Victoria plums down here. They weren't, cut a long story short, they were from someone's tree, and a branch broke because the crop was so heavy. They let me have the plums, so I'm just ripening them off in here. Of course, it's much better if they ripen naturally on the tree, but that wasn't an option. The grapevine cuttings of Lakemont Seedless are doing really well, and the plan is to put one of these in the ground in this polytunnel over the winter months. And as you guys know, I'm growing quite a lot of fruit in here. You know, the Stella Cherry Minaret here, and of course you all know about the Dixie Red Peach. But I'm thinking of putting here, when it's in the dormant season, when they sell bare-rooted trees, I'm thinking of putting another Minaret Cherry in here. Or I'm even thinking maybe of some sort of gauge in here. Of course it'll have to be self-fertile, whatever it is, because generally not that many bees get in here because the door is generally shut. But yeah, so we're going to stick with the old fruit production in here, and I think, you know, the peach and the cherry here and another cherry tree here and maybe a gauge would be good. And of course a good thing nowadays is these minarets like I have here, dwarfing rootstocks, etc., are a great thing, because minarets, you can put them 2 or 3 feet close together. Like you see this is a minaret here, and you know, it's put out all this growth this year, and hopefully we'll get some better crops next year. And I'm considering in the dormant season doing a bit of notching down here. This was mentioned to me before by Vinny off of the channel Sussex Gardening. I don't know if he's still on YouTube, but had some good stuff, so check him out. But yeah, probably going to do some notching in order to get some, hopefully encourage some growth down here. You know, because of course most of the growth is up here, which I do appreciate, but it'd be nice to encourage some growth here so we can get heavier crops down here. And appears to have established well, this tree. Check out some of my earlier videos this season and you'll see there's a story attached to this, but either way, doing well. Now, looking down here at the watermelons, and this tiny little watermelon here, this one was far later to form actually than the other watermelons, but I'm not worried about that, and the other ones are doing very well. Excuse me, let's have a look down here. Look, this one you may remember. Now, for those of you who don't know, here we go. This is variety Sugar Baby, and not ready yet. When they're ready, the tendril there, finger there, tends to go like brown, and the bottom of the watermelon goes yellow. So just keeping my eye on these, and you have to be vigilant. See that? Look, slug. Because what they do is they make holes in your lovely watermelons, and I really don't want that. And of course, because I've got this propped up on this upside down flower pot, I'm having to make sure I get the water off of here so that it doesn't proceed to rot the bottom. Because after all the effort it takes to get watermelons to set in some ways, you don't want to be losing your crop. And another one there, look, again Sugar Baby, and I'm hoping September, probably late September, maybe even into October, these are going to be ready. But even so, still happy with what's happening here. This looks like organised chaos. Got a pepper down here, look. Pepper there, no problem there. And somewhere around here, I've got a bitter melon that formed. I took a lot more care in previous years about bitter melons. This year they were kind of more of an afterthought, but even so, do indeed like growing bitter melons. Let's see if I can find it, hang on. Yep, there it is, look. Bitter melon there, and had great success with these last year. Next year I'm probably going to grow them and I'll tie them up. I'll take a bit more care over it. I didn't have much time at that time of the year when I was setting up this system here, but even so, with just a little bit I've managed to produce of that, I'm quite happy. A lot of them are used in Southeast Asian cookery, and they're meant to have beneficial things for the qualities for the sufferers of type 2 diabetes, so you want to check that one out if you are indeed a sufferer of type 2 diabetes. So down here in the small vegetable garden, got that one's rotted, but never mind. Got a good supply of, unless it's been harvested. There you go, look. Decent sized marrow there. Look at that. Lovely, great crop. Come here. Sorry about this. There you go. See that down there? Might even pick that and have a little bit of dinner off of it. And some runner beans. You can see this is just a very small way that grew a few nice and tender. A few runner beans up that. What I'm probably going to do is enrich this bed later on in the year. Got a cucumber down here, look. Yeah. Going to enrich this bed with organic matter such as manure in order to build it up, and maybe I'm going to put a fan fruit tree at the back. Could be interesting. My pears are coming on well, and you guys have been following the channel for a while. I put this tree in, never really grew much where it was before, never really thrived, and it is on Quince C, which is a dwarfing rootstock, but for the first, funny shape one, that one, but for the first year in its new home, I'm quite happy with the crop. We've got 8 pairs, so no problems there. The strawberry runners look like they're taking, and still getting symphony strawberries. So quite happy about that. So it feels here that autumn is well on its way. I hope it's not, because it is far too early. But we did have a very good early part of the year. The weather was very good. I mean, I remember certain days in February I was outside working in a t-shirt, and the winter wasn't particularly harsh either, and June was absolutely brilliant. But August so far has not been so good. But who knows what the weather's going to do. In the UK the weather can often be quite inconsistent, and it almost feels like we don't really have the seasons, directly like they do in certain parts of the world. But who knows what's going to happen. But we'll carry on with the efforts here, carry on with our gardening efforts, and I hope everybody out there is doing well. Take care and speak soon.